ठीक है? Yeah. So I can see. So this is for everyone. Like many a times I will ask you guys to raise your hand. So you don't have to raise hand like this in your room. You have to raise hand in the Zoom. ठीक है. That was rhyming, no? You don't have to raise hand in your room. You have to raise hand in your Zoom. ठीक है. So I will start one by one. So Jasleen, can I say you just Jess? That works for you?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. ठीक है. So you tell me, what subjects have you opted for in class 11th?
Sir, physics, chemistry, biology, and painting.
Physics, chemistry, sorry. Biology, you said, no? Maths plus painting. What about you, Sabiha?
Yeah, I have opted on physics, chemistry, biology, and psychology.
Psychology. Okay. And Sahla?
I've opted physics, chemistry, biology, healthcare, and psychology.
Healthcare and psychology. Then you will be having English also, right?
Yes.
So 6 subjects. Okay. Shaima, it is Shaima only or it is Saima? Is it
Shaima.
Shaima? What does it mean?
I don't know, sir.
I don't know. पता कीजिए फिर. चलिए, what have you opted for? Tell me, Shaima.
Sir, physics, chemistry, biology, English, information technology, and artificial intelligence.
IT and AI, this is one subject or it is different subjects?
No, sir, it's different subjects. And sir, it's informatics practices.
ठीक है. ये IT वही है ना जो like you had in 10th standard जिसमें they teach you how to wash your hands and then you have to cut your nails, you have to dress properly. The same thing. The same IT. You had IT. How many of you had IT in your 10th standard? Anyone had IT in your 10th standard?
No, sir.
Sir, I had.
Achha. You had Shaima. So it was same thing, na? You have to wash your hands, you have to dress properly. These things
No,
were there, na? In 9th standard. No, it was not there. What was there?
Sir, there was about the structured query language and Excel database.
And 10th standard, no? In 9th standard, I think you had those things. Like how to, like communications and communication skills were also there. Like in 9th standard, early, I know that. I know
Yes,
that it was there.
there are two parts. The first part is employability skills.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. Employability skills. Yeah, correct. Okay, fine. So, fine. So PCB, 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 PCB. ठीक है. So, just you chose biology or you did not like maths? Yes, just tell me. Jasleen, I'm asking you.
So your voice was lagging. Can you repeat?
My voice is lagging. Is it lagging for everyone? Sabiha, Sahela, and Shaima?
No, sir. It's all
No,
good.
it's not lagging here.
Okay. ठीक है. Just Justine, I was asking, you chose biology or you hated maths?
Sir, I chose biology.
You chose biology. What about you, Sabiha?
Sir, I liked physics, but like I didn't like math. That's why I chose PCB.
That's right. You did not like maths. That's why you chose biology. And Sahela, what about you?
I chose biology.
Chose biology. ठीक है. And Shaima?
Sir,
Shaima
I chose biology.
chose biology. Oh, you are all if you are honest, na?
Yes, sir.
Because yeah, obviously because you took standards math, it's fine. Okay, and now tell me your schools. So, Jess, what's your school's name?
Sir, I'm changing the school, so I'm going to Gems Millennium School.
What school? Can you please repeat that name?
GEMS Millennium School.
Acha, you go to GEMS, Dubai.
Sharjah.
So it has what syllabus? CBSE or something else?
The CBSE itself.
CBSE. GEMS Millennium, it is in Dubai, right? GEMS school generally they are in Dubai. Dubai, right?
No, sir, it's in Sharjah also.
अच्छा ठीक है fine. मतलब see, for us Indian peasants and those who don't know, Dubai and UAE are equivalent. Okay, Jasleen? Fine. When I say like when we Indians we say na that Dubai, it means the complete. We think that complete UAE is the Dubai itself. We don't have
Oh,
those
okay, sir.
terminologies here. Sharjah and then Al Ain you have, no? You have Al Ain or it is in
Yes,
Saudi
sir, yeah.
Arabia? So we don't know those things. So Dubai is equal to UAE. So you go to GEMS and it is a CBSE school. Fine. I thought GEMS they have British curricula or something. Okay, I did not know that they have CBSE also. Sabiha, what about you?
So I went to MES Indian school.
MES Qatar.
Yes, sir, Qatar.
Okay, you are in 11th standard now. By any chance, do you know Aisha Tariq? Yeah, she must be a junior. You're in
No,
11th. She must know MES Qatar. What is the full form of MES?
Modern Education School.
Arey, wow, you are the first student who knows that means the real full form of MES. Otherwise, everyone they say Middle East school. Here, Sahla, what about you?
Uh,
What's your school's name?
I go to Don Bosco, Indian English Academy School, Kuwait.
Don Bosco. When you said Don Bosco, I was thinking maybe in India because India has a lot of Don Bosco schools. You're in Kuwait. Okay. And Shaima, what about you?
Indian Public School, Kuwait.
Indian Public School, Kuwait. Okay. How many of you had seniors from Learnivio? Like how many of you got Learnivio's details from your seniors? Just though is already studying here, so see.
Sir,
Sabiha, what about you?
sir, my sister Safia Tabassum. She
Ji.
studied. Yeah, she was your student.
Oh, acha, okay, fine. Safia Sheikh. Okay, fine. Sure. So you guys are like a real sister, like siblings or
Yes, sir.
cousins?
Yes, sir. She's my sister.
Sibling. Acha, that's good then. Okay, Safia Sheikh is Safia Sheikh's sister. Sahla, what about you?
I'm pretty sure my dad got information from Shaima's older sister.
Shaima's older sister. Okay, fine. So you, that means Sahla and Shaima, you guys are friends, or like your families
Yes,
know
sir.
each other?
Yes,
Acha.
sir.
So Shaima, where did you get it from? You had
My
your
sister,
sister here. Okay, who was your sister? I don't know.
Heshma.
Oh, Hishma. So I have high expectations from you, at least regarding the handwriting. Is your handwriting also good?
It's somewhat like hers.
It's somewhat like her. That's really nice. See, Hishma, she passed out, I think, last year, no? Shaima, last year,
Yes,
12th
sir.
standard. What is she doing now?
She's doing MBBS
Just she's doing MBBS from where?
in Sri Lanka.
So she's in Sri Lanka now. Okay. Cool then. So at least you will have okay, but MBBS will do one thing with Hishma. MBBS will ruin her handwriting, I guess. क्या ख्याल है आपका? Shaima, what do you think?
Yes,
Or will
sir.
we have a doctor? Or will we have a doctor whose prescriptions we can read? We will see in 5 years or 4 years. ठीक है. Jasleen, where are you from originally? In India. So in India, where?
South India, Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh AP. Okay, fine. And you're okay with slight bit of Hindi?
Sir, I'm very poor in Hindi.
No, but for example, मैंने खा नहीं, not मैंने खाना खाया, but कल बाहर आना जाना, like you know this much?
Yes, sir.
That much you can know, no? Okay. You know the names of vegetables, bagan, aloo, gajar, these things?
No, sir.
No or yes? What did you say? Was it a yes or no, Jasleen?
No, sir.
No. Okay, fine. ठीक है. No, actually, I asking it's not that I will teach you in Hindi, but also like I'm not going to teach bagan aloo. But like you have to memorize a few things in chemistry, and I generally give students the mnemonics. They are usually in Hindi. Okay, there are in English also, but like the first thing that comes in my mind is generally the Hindi mnemonic. Okay. So for the English one, I will just have to revise because my complete student life, then the majority of the life that I was teaching also, I used to give Hindi mnemonics, but I have made English mnemonics for each and everything. There is a substitute. Okay, so fine. So no Hindi. Okay. What about Sabiha?
Sir, I'm from Andhra as well.
Okay.
I
Hindi,
can
no
speak
Hindi.
Hindi. My mother tongue is Urdu. I can speak Hindi.
You can speak Hindi, Urdu is fine. Okay. Hindi, Urdu is fine. And what about Sahla?
I'm from Sri Lanka. I speak Tamil, but I can understand Hindi, like the vegetables you just said.
I can understand it. Okay, fine. So we had a student from Sri Lanka, but he was in Bahrain. So how would you know him? Saima, you understand Hindi, right?
Yes, sir.
Hindi works for you. Okay. So what subjects you had, Jasleen, in the 10th standard? You did not have Hindi?
No, sir. I took French as a second language.
Bonjour. And what? Croissant. And what? You can speak French. You just took French.
So I took French.
So you took French. You don't okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Valid Indian education. Like the best example of Indian education. Jasleen took French, but she cannot speak French. Anyone else with any foreign language you can speak
Yes,
or
I
you took
took.
foreign language? Yes, Sahla, what did
Sir,
you
I
take?
also took French.
Yes, I took
You
French
also
as
took.
well.
Okay, so French is in demand, I guess. So, like you took French or you can speak French?
Took French.
Took French, okay. Shaima, what about you?
I can kind of speak.
You can kind of speak French, okay. Fine then. Okay. So now, welcome to 11th standard. I hope आप लोग को मतलब बहुत कुछ बताया गया होगा that 11th is very tough, 11th is this and 11th is that. And it is true if like everything what you have heard about 11th standard, it is completely true. And whatever you understand about 11th standard, it is actually more than that. Like no matter how much hard you're thinking the 11th standard is going to be, or how much, not hard actually, but how much demanding the 11th standard it will be. Okay? So nothing is hard. It's just that you have to spend time with the subject and you will understand it. There's no problem in that. But you have to spend a lot of time in with the subjects because the portion is huge. You may have seen that you had one science textbook. Now you have two textbook for each science subject. You have two textbook for physics, two for chemistry, two for biology also, I guess. Right? And those are just the NCERT textbooks. And for in the case of chemistry, NCERT textbook is very good. And if you are having only the NCERT textbook, and there will be some assignments and some material given by the Learnivio team, you will be good enough. You don't need any other textbook for chemistry subject. You have my notes, you have the NCERT, you will get some assignments from the Learnivio team, and that will be enough for you. Now, for physics and biology and mathematics, if you have taken any of these subjects in Learnivio, the teacher will tell you what you have to do. But I think for biology, the NCERT textbook is enough. And I think physics NCERT textbook is not that good. Okay, so, but the subject teacher will tell you better. Now, before moving, I have some tips from your seniors. Like the student who just passed the 11th standard now, I asked them, like, if you were to give some tips to the juniors, then what would it be? Okay, so just I'm going to paste those things for you guys to read. Because I think I can give you some tips, like as a teacher, I can give you some tips, but the student who have just faced the 11th standard, they are in a much better position to tell you what mistakes they made and how you can not make those mistakes. Okay, so just give me a second. I think I'll copy that. Okay, so these are the tips or advices. First thing is that you have to start from the day one. Okay, that means start from day one. That means you have to have a proper notebook and you have to have notes from the day one. Initially, you would not really know like what to study, what to not to study, but whatever is taught to you guys, you have to revise it from day one. With the second point, I wrote it very quickly. Revise before test. What does this mean? Is that last moment studying will not work. So if you are thinking that, okay, human eye is a chapter, it is coming in my unit test, I will just read that chapter 1 day before, 2 days before, or even 3 days before, that would work. I hope you guys remember human eye. That was a small chapter in class 10th, right? So you can do it in like before the unit test, you can spend 3 days and it will be okay with you guys. What you have to do, the human eye, the diagram you have to make, myopia, like hypermetropia, metropia, and all of those things, diseases, and the formation of rainbow you have to study, the prism you have to study. Those are the main topics. That's it. But you cannot do the same thing for any chapter in chemistry or physics or biology. For at least chemistry, I can say there is not a single chapter that you will say that, okay, fine, I will just give this chapter 3 days and I will be okay and I will be ready for the test. It will never happen. What would happen is that you may complete the chapter. You may do a few questions also. But when the test paper will come, you will read the question. You will know the question, okay, fine, I have read this somewhere, but you would not know how to write the answer. And this is the biggest problem that you are going to face in the 11th standard. At least in chemistry paper, I don't remember actually like physics and biology, like what I used to feel. But in chemistry, like when I was also in 11th standard, I still remember that I wrote the answers, but I did not get marks. I did not write what the teacher was expecting. So you have to practice a lot of questions. You have to know, okay, fine, this question, you have to write this. At least there are 3 words which are important that you have to include in the answer. Otherwise, you will not be getting the marks. Okay. So these are the points. Like I had a really good example for this also, but I really forgot. Like the main important or the keywords that are used in the answers, no? They are very important in 11th standard. Otherwise, you are not going to get marks. And things are way strict in 11th standard. What I have seen in the Middle East area, that the teachers, they don't give marks in steps. The teachers, they check very strictly, and they're not lenient at all in the checking part. Okay, so just be aware, like start from day one, revise before the test, and the last moment studying will not work. You have to practice questions from the day one. You will not be able to do any questions in the day one for sure, but you have to start practicing from day one. Now, there are some subject-wise tips also. For physics, you have to practice and practice as maths and focus on derivations, because derivation is generally asked in physics examinations. You have to understand the concepts, and the basic maths is very important. By the way, all of those who thought that you have left mathematics, please remember mathematics will not leave you till you are done with your studies. No matter whether you are doing MBBS, no matter whether you are doing anything else, you have to be studying mathematics. Okay? Like if you, like simplest thing a doctor would do with a patient is check his fever. That would also include numbers. Depending on the number, he will have to make a decision that, okay, fine, what kind of test should I do? Okay, so numbers are not going to lead you anywhere. Now, when he is going to assign you certain kind of medicine, he has to know the dosage, how much mg it is there. According to the age, he has to calculate the dosage also. So those things, mathematics is not going to leave. Okay, so please understand that the first question that we are going to do today will be also completely mathematics. Okay, now chemistry is going to be divided into 3 sections. By the way, let me just complete this first of all. So chemistry is NCERT questions you have to do complete, and you have to give time to organic chemistry. That is the last 2 chapters. The last 2 chapters generally the last step regarding biology is that you have to study the textbook. Okay, you have to read the textbook a lot. So these are the points. If you want to write some points, then please write it and paste it in your wall or study table wherever you study, so that you don't forget any one of these. Please, I will give you time. Raise your hand once you're done writing. You have not started studying till now. You will raise your hand once you're done writing. Please let me know once you're done.
Sir, could you please repeat?
Let me know you're done. Raise hand once you're done writing.
Sir, my internet was weak. I couldn't hear what you said to write down.
No. I mean, whatever is visible, na, you can write the tips.
Okay, thank you,
Like
sir.
revise before test. These things. This thing is not. Waiting for Sabiha, Sahla, and Shaima. Just waiting for Sabiha and Shaima. Just waiting for Shaima now.
Sir, I don't have the option to raise hand.
Okay. What are you using? You're using phone
Sir,
or
I'm
a
using an
laptop?
iPad.
You're using an iPad?
iPad. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I will have to buy an iPad to know where it is to raise hand. Okay, fine. So you're done? Just let me know. You're done,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, that's fine. Okay, now I will give you guys a very small question. Okay. I mean, it is maths, so करिएगा मत. It's a very simple question, by the way. Take a very simple question. Please do it.
Do we just say the answer?
No. You have to send the answer on the Zoom chat. Don't say the answer. Okay, fine. I'm waiting for others. Okay, Sabiha. Okay, I will give you 2 more minutes. Okay, fine. Sahla. I think I'm waiting for the answer only from Jasleen. Jasleen, if you have sent the answer, please make sure that you're sending it to Salim Raza, not to Learnivio. Jasleen, am I audible? Seems I'm not audible to Jasleen. Others, Sabiha, Sahla, and Shaima, I'm audible properly.
Sir, did you get my
Yes,
answer?
sir.
No, I did not. Oh, yeah, I got it now. I got it. Sorry. Just got it. Okay. Yeah, everyone is correct. Okay. So this is one of the most important, like the way you do this question, it is known as unitary method. Maybe you don't know this, what is this called, but it is known as unitary method. That means you calculate the price or You calculate something for a singular item and then you multiply. And this will be a very constant thing in chemistry that you are going to do. So you have to be very crystal clear about this. Okay. So this method is known as unitary method. Why it is called unitary? For one, you have to calculate, and then you can calculate for many also. So it is saying that for 5 ice creams, it required 125 rupees. Okay. That means for one ice cream, it would require 125 upon 5. And for 3 ice creams, you have to take the 3 ice cream, it will require 125 upon 5 into 3. So this will be 525 sir, 125. This will be equal to 75 rupees. Okay. So this is something that I needed all of you guys to be fully understand. Now let's look at the syllabus. So this is the syllabus of your 11th standard from last year. CBSE has not released anything till now regarding the year 2024 to 25. That is your batch. You have not said anything regarding this particular batch. So first of all, we'll start with some basic concepts in chemistry. And by the way, did any one of you have started school? Is the school on for any one of you? Sabiha, it is on.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, then you are ahead. So first of all, we'll start with some basic concepts of chemistry. Then we will move on to structure of atom, periodic properties, chemical bonding, thermodynamics, equilibrium, redox reactions, organic chemistry, and hydrocarbons. So these chapters, you can understand that they are interconnected. So until unless you do the 8th chapter, you will not be able to do the 9th chapter. Now, the sequence that the CBSE and the NCERT have decided for this particular 11th standard, it's also very nice. For example, I mean, the first chapter, it automatically makes sense, right? You have to understand some basic things about chemistry, then only you can start it. So in some basic concept of chemistry, you will actually be learning what I call as the language of chemistry. We'll get into detail of language of chemistry today itself. And like, why do I say it is language of chemistry? And you have to treat chemistry as language itself, because if you treat it as a language, then it is going to help you a lot. You will understand the questions better. You can extract the numbers where you don't see any number. Then you will have numericals, where you will have numericals in 11th standard in chemistry, where in the whole question there will be only one number. Okay, so right now, you must have seen numericals, but they would have at least 2 numbers, 3 numbers. Or if they are not having numbers, then they will say, okay, fine. For example, let's take Ramesh is 3 years old and his brother is thrice older than him. So thrice is also a number. It is not a letter, rather it is a number. But you will not see any of those kind of things. There will be pure only one number in the question. You have to do calculations. Okay. So that's why you have to understand the language, how to extract numbers where you see no numbers there. Okay, when you see no numbers, that's one of the major thing that you have to do in this particular chapter. Some basic concept of chemistry, which is going to be used till your 12th standard. Next thing is structure of atom. So now we are starting with the exact chemistry. Now we are starting to understand like what everything is made up of, and then slowly 2 things. Chemistry is a study of 2 things. It's the study of the matter. You have to study the properties of matter and how it interacts with other matter and its interaction. Simply speaking. So when you know the property of one matter and you know the property of other matter, you can predict how they are going to interact. And that's what science is for. Science, one of the main idea or one of the main purpose of science is to, you will feel ki sir kya matlab, he's talking like a pandit and something. He's talking like an astrologist to predict the future. This is one of the purpose of the science. The other purpose of science is to classify things. That is majorly done in biology. Biology, classify stuff. Okay. Now, there is the word science. The word science, it is similar to, or rather I would say, it is similar to one of the words, and it is a tool that we use to very much in our home? Like, any guesses? Like what that tool is, which has similar spelling as that of science. We use it in our kitchens, and you will find it with tailors, those who stitch. Any idea? Try to guess.
Scissor?
Yeah, correct. So what is scissor used for?
Cutting?
For cutting. And similarly, science, this starting word, na, SCI, it is from the same root as that of scissors. And this science, initially, it was for classification. So classification is also like cutting things, right? Make sense? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is for classification. And that's what basically in biology, you will see a lot of classifications, right? I think in 9th standard, you have some chapter, but I don't know whether it was deleted or not deleted. Monocot, dicot, 9th standard, you have learned this. Monocot, dicot seeds, classification and diversity as a good chapter. I don't remember right now. Now, prediction of future. This to make sense. Does prediction of future make sense to you guys? Like, how is science going to predict the future?
Yes.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Salma.
in a sense it does.
How?
For example, predicting the weather.
Predicting the weather. And have you guys done any prediction till now? You have learned science now till 10th standard. Anything that you can remember, you predicted something? Not in real life, obviously, but at least in the textbook examples, questions also.
We can predict chemical equations.
You can predict chemical, like if you have the reactant, then you can predict the products also. Yeah, that's fine. That's one thing. One of the very, very basic example that you can have now for the prediction is, for example, you're at a point, and let's suppose you are riding a motorbike or you're in a car, and the car is going with a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So you already know where you will be, or you don't already know, but you can predict where you will be after an hour. Does that make sense? No.
Yes.
Makes sense, right? So like that's a very basic example, like how you can use science in order to make predictions. Okay. Now that's what we are going to. Many a times I will bring this part. Okay. Like how we are doing the prediction of the future. How we are doing the prediction of the future. Okay. So classification and prediction of the future. These are the two main purpose of science that we have to study science for. Okay. Many a times I will be bringing this part. So just be ready. Okay, so you should not feel like, okay, man, what is prediction of future doing in science? Now, once we do the language of chemistry, then we have to come to atoms. So we would know what matter is actually made up of. And then we will see that there are different types of atoms, which we call elements. And the elements, they differ. And how do they differ? And once we understand how they are differing, then we are going to classify these elements. Again, see the second purpose of science scheme. Classify these elements, and we will also arrange them in the periodic table so as to understand their property more effectively. Then once we have understood the elements, then what we will do, we will combine elements. And as we combine elements, what are we going to do? Oh, even before that, we are going to arrange the elements according to their properties. Now, there will be some elements which their property will be to attach to other elements. Now, when these two elements, they attach, they will form a chemical bond and you will get a molecular structure. Okay, so till here it is complete. Fine. That we are starting with the basics. We are getting to the atoms. Then we are seeing different atoms. We are classifying them as elements. Then we are doing, okay, fine, this element has this property, this element has that property, and they are going to react with each other. And then we are going to form chemical bond and molecules. Then comes the word thermodynamics. Now, chemical thermodynamics, what it is doing here in this case is that obviously we understand each and everything till in the microscopic level, like the structure of atom, elements, periodicity, chemical bonding, all of these are in very molecular level or atomic level. But the reaction that you see, the real world events that take place, they happen in a macroscopic level. So now we have to move from, in thermodynamics, what we are going to do, we are going to use whatever properties we have understood in the microscopic level, and then we are going to enlarge it and we are going to apply it to the macroscopic level. Now, chemical thermodynamics will be related to processes. You have understood everything? Okay. So you will have initial of something, there will be final of something, and in between there will be some process that is happening. Now, initial, everything is material. We have studied the materials in terms of atoms, elements, and molecules. Final, it is also what? Material. We have understood everything about materials in terms of atom, elements, and molecules. Now we are going to understand how this initial and final are happening, like how, what is the process that is taking place. Okay. Now, when the process is done, when everything is completed, when there is nothing happening at all, or at least it seems that nothing is happening at all, we call that chapter equilibrium. Then we say that equilibrium has been established. Nothing is happening at this time. Okay. Now, once this is all general chemistry we are doing, now we are going to specify. Now we have redox reactions. Now, redox reaction, it does not have any relation to the previous chapter except classification of elements and periodicity. There are a few things from classification of elements and periodicity that we are going to use in the redox reaction chapter. Okay. So this is the sequence. Then we have organic chemistry. This organic chemistry I will introduce you once we start organic chemistry, because it is not completely related to any one of them, but it is slightly related with the chemical bonding, because in chemical bonding and classification of elements and periodicity, you have to understand the element carbon. Carbon and its compound is organic chemistry and hydrocarbons. Okay. So this is the complete overview of what you are going to do in your 11th standard chemistry. But this is the bigger picture. Now, whatever I have told till now will not be asked in your examinations. Okay. But have this bigger picture with you so that you know the sequence. Okay, fine. You have studied this, we have studied this, and we are going to study that now. So it will be easier for you to navigate through the class 11. It will not be like क्या ही पढ़ रहे हैं हम, क्यों ही पढ़ रहे हैं हम, ठीक है? So you have that bigger picture in mind, but that bigger picture should stay only in the back of your mind so that it will help you navigate. Okay? It is going to help you navigate. So for example, like your parents, they are not going to tell you about each and every action that you have to do. Like when you're with your friends, how you have to behave. They will not tell you that when your friend says that, you say this. When your friend says that, you say this. But what they have done, they have instilled some kind of etiquettes in you, and then those etiquettes are the one which are helping you navigate in different cases, like how you have to be with your teachers, how you have to be with your friends, how you have to be with your elders, how you have to be with the people you know, how you have to be with the people you don't know. So they have not told you each and everything for each and every situation, but they have given you a certain etiquette that helps you navigate. Similar is the way that you have an overall picture that will help you navigate through the complete chemistry portion. Now, coming to the first chapter, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. So, all of you have a notebook. Tell me, Jasleen, Sabiha, Sahila, and Shaim.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So all of fine. How many pages? Tell me. That notebook is of how many pages? First of all, it's a new notebook. Jasleen, Sabiha, Sahila, and
Yes, sir.
Shaima.
50 pages.
Yes, sir.
It's a new notebook. How many pages? 250 pages. Who said 250 pages?
150, sir. 150. Long notebook.
150. Long notebook, 150 Sabiha. Okay. What about there's Sahila? How many pages?
My book is 100 pages. It's a long book.
Long notebook. So long notebook is like this. Okay, it's getting blurred because. But I think you can see the side. It's like
Yes,
this.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me. Fine. I think this is for your long notebook. Okay, fine. You can use that for something else because you will be needing a lot more than 150 pages. Last year, one of my students, he completed 3 notebooks of 150 pages. So at least like 100 pages, you said 150 pages, 100 pages like that. No? So have a notebook of at least more than 300 pages. Right? If you can. And other thing that I would suggest that right now, do I? have it right now. Okay, I have it. It's very nice if you have spiral notebook. How many of you have spiral notebooks? Tell me. Spiral notebooks. Just give me a second. I will show you guys. Yes, by the way, I think, I don't know, this is even longer than this one, the earlier one that I showed you guys. Okay, so this is a bit longer. So this notebook is spiral. Okay, so the good thing about spiral is it can fold like this. Right? So if you can, these are important things. It's not like I'm wasting your time. Please invest in these things. Have a good notebook, have a good pen, have a good seating arrangement. This will help you guys. If you start it right now, then it is going to help you like in the complete year. Okay. So you please have this spiral type of notebook. If you can buy a spiral notebook, you get these things there, right? In Middle East. Spiral, you can see spiral. See.
Yes, sir.
You get these things, right? Okay, fine. So do buy a spiral notebook, and if you can buy for 400 pages, you will be. It will be all for the year. I mean, you can use that for the complete year if you get for 400 pages at least. ठीक है अब like A4 size या फिर उस type का size का and have it 400 pages and you will use it the complete year. Now, I understand your concern that sometimes you travel to India and you don't want to pack heavy. And that's why some people in Middle East, I know that they have multiple notebooks rather than only one notebook. So it's all right. I'm not forcing that you have to buy this, otherwise you will not understand chemistry at all. I'm saying that this is going to help you only. But if you have issues that you want to pack light when you are traveling to India, then you can have these notebooks, whatever you are using, but make sure that you don't lose them because it is much easier to take care of one notebook rather than multiple notebooks. Okay. So please write the date. Today's date is 15th of April. 15th of April? No. I'm looking at something else. Wait a second. Let me change my date. 21st. 21st of March and 2024. And you have to do this in every class. You will write the date. I write my date here. Okay. So it will help you understand many things. ठीक है ये एक बार हम बता दे रहे बहुत सारी चीजें को है ना I'm telling you a lot of things. Just do them slowly. Now this date it also has one more reason is that you will be easily navigating. Okay, fine, we did this, then we did that, and then you can also see that okay, fine, I was absent in this class. One bigger thing that the date does is, for example, like 21st March. Okay, maybe you have a cousin today at your home, so you will remember the complete lesson. Not you, but rather your brain works automatically. You don't have to do anything for that. Your brain will remember the complete lesson only because that day was important to you. Your cousin was there. That, I mean, if there is something happening in your life and you retain the class notes using that date, it will stay in your mind for a longer time. Okay, so please do these things and subconsciously you will be remembering a lot more. Okay. So starting with the chapter number 1, that is some basic concepts. Some basic concepts in chemistry or of chemistry. Now, in some basic concepts of chemistry, you will understand the language of chemistry. Now, each and every language, it is made up of different letters. Now, obviously, letters, they don't have any meaning, like they don't contribute directly to the language, but letters and some proper like proper formation of letters, proper placement of letters, it will give you a word. Right? You cannot combine any letters. A proper combination will give you a word. For example, if you have THUS, okay, so this, I mean, this makes sense, my bad. So if you have SU, let us suppose. Okay, So this does not make sense, but if you have THUS, thus it makes sense. SHUT, it makes sense, right? So some proper combination of word letters, it will give you a word, and proper combination of word, it will give you sentences. And similar thing happens in chemistry also, that what will be the equivalent of letters in chemistry? Tell me, guys. थोड़ा आप लोग को idea होगा.
Symbols.
Yeah, correct. Symbols, elements, right? Elements, they have their symbols. Correct, very good. Elements. And the elements and some elements, when they combine, and it should be some proper number of elements that are combining and proper elements that combine, and they will form molecules. And when molecules, they interact with each other, they make reactions. Does this make sense? Yes or no? Please tell me. This means Sabiha, Sahla, and Shaima.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay. Now, next thing that we have to understand, like when we are studying chemistry, we are studying chemistry as a language here. Okay. So since all of you, most of you have done French as a language, so there must be a part where you have to do translations. Is that right? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes. So the same thing that we will be also doing. Like there will be some text written in chemical language. I'm not saying chemical language in the sense of sodium or potassium. It will be written in English, but only a person who has studied chemistry will be able to understand it. Okay, that's what I mean when I say the language of chemistry. So you will have to convert the chemical language. I'm not talking about reactions here. I'm talking about perfect sentences that are containing words in English, but you have to convert it into simple English. You have to convert it into simple English. That's the main thing that we have to study in this chapter. Okay? Elements, molecules, and how the molecules they pertain to reactions, and how you have to go from chemical language to simple English. The first thing that we will be studying in this chapter, and one more thing. Please don't follow the NCERT textbook for this chapter. You will not see the first topic as my topic. Okay? You will not see the second topic as my topic. The topics, I don't agree with the topics how they have arranged in NCERT. That is why I teach it. First thing that we have to study is atomic weight. Atomic weight, or we call it atomic mass. Both the things, they mean the same here, and we use it interchangeably. Even though weight and mass, I hope you guys remember from the 9th standard gravitation chapter that weight and mass, they are different things, but let us ignore that fact. We used it interchangeably. Again, language. Okay, you cannot debate on a language. Like when I say 5, why does the shopkeeper give me 5 eggs? Why does he don't give me 4 eggs? Like how this word that I'm speaking, FIVE, and how he's giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, then again this 5 things. So again, this is a kind of language. Weight and mass, we use it in a same way. Okay. So weight and mass, they don't. Atomic weight and atomic mass, not weight and mass, but rather atomic weight and atomic mass, they are used interchangeably. Now, think in terms of an 8th standard student and try to define atomic weight or atomic mass just by looking at the word. Jaslene, you want to give it a try? Like if an 8th standard student, he does not know too much about atoms or mass or weight, right? He sees a phrase atomic weight, atomic mass. What would he think? Tell me. At least he would understand something if he knows English, like atomic. So tell me, guys, anyone want to attempt?
The weight of the atom.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly correct. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Please tell me. Jasleen, Sabiha, Sahla, by the name itself, atomic weight, is the mass of one atom. Okay, mass of one atom. Mass of what? Mass of, repeat, tell me, mass of what?
One atom.
One atom. Mass of what? Once again? Mass of one atom. How many of you have gone to jewelry shopping? How many of you have bought gold or at least been with your mom or dad when they were buying gold? Jasleen. Only Jasleen. Sabiha. Okay, fine. Yeah, in Middle East you have, like in Dubai also, you have cheaper rates than in India. So obviously you must have gone somewhere. Have you heard the conversation ever? Like, how do they tell the price of gold? Do they say like per let us see, you have went there, no? You have found there. Uh, how many of you have bought grocery? Have you ever bought grocery? Like maybe, Sabiha, tell me.
So
Yes, you have. What have you bought? Have you bought potato? If you have bought potatoes, what will you tell the shopkeeper? Give me 10 grams of potato. Can you say that?
no, sir. Here, we take them ourselves. We bag them ourselves, and then we take them to the
That is
company.
true. That is true.
It's
So
per
what do you
kilogram.
guys buy? But you will not take like, you will, if you have to ask, let us suppose you have to ask the shopkeeper, then you will not say 10 grams of potato, right? What will be something that you will say 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg? Similarly, if you go to a jewelry shop, you will not say, show me something of 5 kgs. Will you ask that? Like, show me a jewelry set that is of 5 kg, or show me a jewelry set that is of 1 kg. Are you going to say that?
No, sir. We will ask
No, right?
grams or carats.
Grams, right? Grams and carats is a different thing. Carat is the quality of gold that you have to buy, but the amount, if you are going to talk about the amount, then you have to talk in terms of grams, right? Now, similarly, think about the medicines that you take. If you see the medicines, they are in mg. Nobody will say that, okay, fine, give me 10 grams of that medicine. They will say, okay, fine, give me this medicine, 100 mg, 1000 mgs, right? So milligrams and micrograms are used. Now think about the unit. So as soon as you say now that we have to take the mass of an atom, then you have to define in what units you want to take. Take it. Now, an atom, if you think, it's so small. Like if you have like one thin piece of hair, even can you measure the weight of one hair? What do you guys think? Can you measure the weight of? No, right? Even if you keep that one strand of hair in the weighing machine of in the jewelry shop, also it will not detect anything. That means no, like, the unit of mass that we want to take for one atom, it is unimaginable. Like, we don't have any practical use. We don't know that unit, and that is why the chemists, they said that, okay, fine, we don't know the unit in the skin, no problem. The mass of one atom in atomic mass unit. So they defined a new unit, atomic mass unit. The mass of one atom in atomic mass unit is called atomic weight or atomic mass. Okay? Now we identify the problem. Atomic weight, mass of one atom, that is the definition we agreed upon. Then we thought that, okay, fine, but when we have to measure the mass of one atom, we don't have any particular unit that will going to be helpful in measuring the mass of one atom. So we said, okay, fine, we'll define a new unit in atomic mass unit that is known as atomic weight. Now, as soon as we are going to define a new unit, it gives us a bigger mass unit. Similarly, what do you the Jasola got into the waiting room. Okay, yeah. तो है आप like how kg, 1 gram.
So your voice is not clear.
Know that this
Your voice is lagging a lot.
so let me try turning my video. Okay, how's my voice now?
It's okay, sir.
Is it any better? It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we were discussing like what is 1 kg? You understand this question? What is 1 kg?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to answer it. Like I'm not asking you to answer it. You understand like, what is 1 meter? You know that okay, this length or this length is only 1 meter. Who decided that? Okay. So whenever we have a unit, like who was the one? There was a ruler who covered much low area. He was the one who standardized all the units.
So your voice is lagging again.
By any chance, know the name? Internet is not helping me at all right now. Everything like I can stream YouTube and everything, but lagging only in Zoom. How's it now? Is it getting better and then again lagging, or it is always constantly lagging?
Yeah, it gets better and then it starts lagging.
It gets better and then it starts lagging. Like it's fine now.
So it's fine now.
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So yeah, I was asking like by any chance do you know the one who standardized all the units across Europe? No. Okay. This was in your SST, by the way. Napoleon was the one who standardized everything, like all the different territories that were in Europe. He standardized like what is 1 meter, what is 1 kg, and all of these things. Okay. Okay, moving on. Now we have to do what? We have to define what is atomic mass unit. So the scientists said, they said that okay, fine, the we find, I mean, the which is the having the least weight, we will say that this is the one atomic mass unit. So initially, what they said was, before writing all of those things, I will say that there are few things that scientists decided on. Was first thing, this atomic weight or atomic mass unit, it will always be a whole number. Okay, it will not be in fractions or decimals, it will always be a whole number. And the other thing is that you have to remember 1 AMU or 1 atomic mass unit, it is also equal to 1 Dalton. Now these are just interchangeable units, and it is also equal to 1 U. U is also another name of atomic mass unit. It is known as unified mass. But let us leave all of those things. What initially the scientists they said that they decided that okay, fine, mass of one hydrogen atom, it is equal to 1 AU. That will be equal to 1. So we have to decide now what is 1 kg. So there is a platinum iridium rod in the Museum of France. Mass of that rod was decided as 1 kg. Okay. So similarly, we have to decide what is 1 AMU, like what is 1 atomic mass unit, the new unit that we have derived. Said that the mass of 1 hydrogen atom will be equal to 1 AMU. So what did we do? We took a scale. Have you seen this scale by any chance? How many of you have seen this type of scale in real life?
I've seen it in India, sir.
No one. You have seen it in India. Just seen. Okay, fine. I've also seen it. So, by the way, how many of you have ever read a newspaper? Raise your hand. If you ever read a newspaper, I'd say you guys have read newspaper. Okay, that's fine. When did you guys read newspaper? When was it? Sabiha?
Last year,
When?
sir.
Last year somewhere. Sahela, why did you read newspaper, by the way? Like, what was the occasion? Like newspaper, I mean, you get newspaper at your home or in your school, like that.
No, I read it back when I was younger in Sri Lanka. My grandfather used to get the newspaper daily, so once in a while I get curious.
Okay, fine. And what about you guys? Sabiha, you have also read, no? Like, when did you, like, why did you read it?
In India, sir.
In India. Okay, fine. Like, you got jalebis from the street, and then that jalebi was packed in newspaper, and then happened like that, or what?
No, sir.
No,
My
not
dad
like that.
and my
Okay,
grandfather read the newspaper, so I read with them.
that's okay, fine. But I think, like, in the next 10-15 years, like many people, if they are in Middle East, they will not have seen this scale. They would not have read a newspaper, even in India for that matter. Like, कौन सा मेरी बहन ने भी newspaper पता नहीं कब पढ़ा होगा. खैर. So what we do now, we have got mass of one hydrogen atom is equal to 1 mu. So we take helium. Right? We take a helium atom, we keep one hydrogen here. Okay. And we saw that the helium plate was going down. So then we kept another hydrogen atom. We saw that again helium plate was going down. So we kept another hydrogen, another hydrogen. When we kept 4 hydrogen in this side and 1 helium atom this side, both the balance, I mean, both this plates were in the same level. So we said that mass of 1 helium atom is equal to 4 times the mass of hydrogen atom, and mass of hydrogen atom is 1 mu, so it will be 4 mu. Similarly, we decided for lithium atom, we did the same thing, and we got the mass as 7 AMU. We did the same thing for oxygen atom, and we got it as 16 AMU. Same thing we did for carbon atom, and we got it as 12 AMU. Okay, so this is how we got all the different atomic mass units. But then came a problem. Have you heard this word isotope by any chance?
Yes.
Isotope, you have heard. Isotopes, if you don't know, isotope, they will have same atomic number, but their masses will be different. That means there is a very famous isotope of hydrogen that you will know once you complete the 11th standard, that is known as deuterium. Now, the mass of hydrogen atom is 1 AMU. Now, all the reactions that deuterium shows, it is similar to that of hydrogen. The only difference between hydrogen and deuterium is what? It is in the atomic mass. Hydrogen has 1 proton, deuterium has 1 proton. Hydrogen has 1 electron, deuterium has 1 electron. These are the main things that decide the chemical reactivity. So people were doing reactions and they found that there is a gas that is showing similar. I mean, there is a gas which is reacting like hydrogen. Okay? They did not know anything. So they thought it is hydrogen only. They did not measure the mass. But when they used deuterium, okay? So in the scale, if we have deuterium here, and here we have helium, here we are having helium, and here we are having deuterium, which the scientists are thinking that this is hydrogen because of its reactivity. So they said that, okay, fine, let us check. So here they are seeing 1 deuterium, and then when they added the second deuterium, it was equivalent to the level of helium atom. Because deuterium, it has a mass of 2 AMU, as it has 1 neutron also. Okay, that is another case why it is having 2 AMU, but that's what happened actually. That we were getting, now some of the scientists, they were in Russia, saying that for 1 helium atom, you need 4 hydrogen atoms. That is 1 helium atom, it is having mass of 4 AMU. Some scientists, they are in New Zealand and Australia, they are saying that no, only 2 hydrogen atoms are needed to make it equivalent with helium atom, because they are not exactly doing the calculation with hydrogen. They don't know yet right now. They're So this was a controversy. Okay, my God, like we not use hydrogen. Like the base that we are using, this hydrogen atom we are using, it is not constant in every area, and it is having isotopes. So the problem of isotope arose, and that is why this definition. Okay, what is 1 AMU? We were defining what is 1 AMU. If anyone was saying what is 1 AMU, we are saying equal to 1 AMU. You have to discard this definition. And that is why you will not be learning this definition when you will ask 11th and what is 1 AMU. You will not be learning this like hydrogen, the mass of 1 hydrogen atom. Because this was the original and was the simplest chose oxygen as the base. Now they have to redefine what is 1 AMU. So the definition of 1 AMU was mass of hydrogen atom. Now we know that 16 AMU is equal to mass of oxygen atom. So it will be by 16 mass of oxygen atom. Does it make sense? So they started using oxygen because oxygen was going to the history, and this was the time where the mining industry was in the boom. Like you were, the industrial revolution was in the boom. You were getting iron ores, you were getting aluminum ores, you were getting bauxite and everything. So all of these things, now iron ores, it is in. Acha, by the way, ये तो आप लोग को पता होगा that majority of the ores, they are either the oxides or they are sulfides. Whether it is highly reactive metal or it is medium reactive metal or it is low reactive metal, all of them, most of them are what, sulfides or they are oxides. So when the mining industry and the industrial revolution was in boom, oxygen was a very important because everything was attached to oxygen. Everything was attached to oxygen. Okay? That is why they took oxygen. But there were certain, oh my God, my voice is lagging again. I don't know why it started to happen like this here. I hope it won't lag. So were you able to understand what I was trying to say about oxygen? And this
Could you
definition
please repeat the
of 1
oxygen part
AMU?
again?
And like, okay, fine. So we have determined or we calculated the mass of oxygen atom as 16 AMU. We said that what is 16 AMU? We said 16 AMU is the mass of oxygen atom. Then from this definition, from this sentence, we can also define what is 1 AMU. 1 AMU will be the mass of oxygen atom divided by 16. Or we can say 1 by 16th of mass of oxygen atom. Does that make sense? Yes, please tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ठीक है. But there was chemists who were dealing with oxides, because we have also dealt with oxides and sulfides in the class 10. But there were some certain physicists who were still using the definition of hydrogen, because physicists, when they do physics on atom, they don't look at the combination of atoms, they don't look at molecules, they look at one certain atom. So while they were looking at an atom only, they would know whether it is deuterium or whether it is hydrogen, because they were not looking at the reactions. They were looking at the atom, like what it is having, how many electrons, how many protons, and everything. So physicists, they were using hydrogen. Chemists, they were using oxygen. There was a controversy once again. So 1968, there was a assembly called, let us decide one atom that will be the final, and that atom was decided as the carbon atom. So carbon atom is the base that we are using in order to define AMU from now on. And that is why you will see a very weird definition. That is the first thing that you will learn in 11th standard chemistry. What is 1 AMU? And the definition of 1 AMU will be the mass of 1/12 of mass of one carbon 12 atom. Carbon 12 means the carbon atom is having its mass of 12. Okay. Now, I hope with the history, this definition will seem fine. That okay, that's the history that okay, when they decided carbon. I hope now you understand that is the mass of 112. I mean, it is similar to the thing that we did for oxygen atom. This sentence makes sense for you guys? Tell me. Jasleen, Sabiha, Sahla, and Shaima. I have skipped one step though.
Yes, sir.
This sentence. Once we have decided to take carbon atom as the base for atomic mass unit, then the definition of 1 AMU will become the mass of 12 mass of carbon 12 atom. Now, in sentence looks weird. I hope with this, just Biha and Shaima. Like it does not make someone intelligent or someone who has logic had decided if you're starting from somewhere. But please understand that this is not the initial definition. We started with a simple one, mass of hydrogen atom, but then the definitions were slowly and slowly changed, and we have found this definition of carbon. So here, yes, no, Sahla, and Shaima. Is everything clear? Yes? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you write one more thing. You will write properly. 1 AMU is the mass of one 12th mass of one carbon atom, or rather one carbon 12 atom. Okay, so this is the first thing that you have to memorize. What is 1 AMU? Okay, so I will stop here because my internet is not helping me, and also time is also going to be poor. Okay, so one thing that you have to remember from this class is what is 1 AMU? What is the definition of 1 AMU? You can forget the history, but you have to remember what is 1 AMU. Okay, Jasleen, Sabiha, Sahla, and Shaima. Does this make sense? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, this is the most detailed thing I will go into the history part of in this chapter, and I don't go into the history part of any of the things. Okay, even though if you enjoyed it or you did not enjoy it, you understand it very nicely, or you don't understand it very nicely, but this history is. I don't want you to come to chemistry and see this as the first thing. Like, what a weird sentence is this? Nobody in their right mind. At least I did not. I was like, I was completely bewildered by this particular definition of 1 AMU. Like, kaun बेवकूफ है? Look, why is the need of so much complication? 1/12 mass of one carbon atom. You can just say hydrogen atom. But eventually, when I was in BSc, I studied more books, and certain books, the history of the atomic mass unit was given. Then I was okay, fine. This was the case. They started with hydrogen only, the most logical thing that you will take, the lightest element to define one AME. Then they had problems, and then they went for carbon atom. That's why I include this story, because I don't want you guys to come to